these are the 10 books that I have read that have changed my life forever. A couple of years ago, I started my own journey of self improvement with the aim to read one book every single month, and I have done for as long as I can remember. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going through those books and the reasons why I recommend them to the listener to start their own journey of self improvement and try and level up their own circumstances and their own life, work, or relationship situations. So, in this video, there may be a couple of books that you've not heard before, but if you was go out to read them, you'd take so much from them that'd help you level up your own circumstances and become a better individual. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's any books that you think I've missed or that you'd recommend, drop them in the comments below. Click the subscribe button and drop a like on this video, and let's get straight into it. So number one is a book that I fully believe has allowed me to leave my 9-to-5 job, be able to work for myself on my terms and travel the world whenever I want to. This book has leveled up my self-confidence. It's allowed me to see things that I didn't think would be possible for myself to achieve and actually go on and achieve them. And this book is called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. In this book, Maxwell Maltz talks about being a plastic surgeon who fixes people's faces who have like conditions where they don't like the way that the nose looks or they don't like the way that the chin looks. And he says that the person doesn't see any mental difference after they've had this change unless they go within themselves and realize that they look better after they've had the surgery. As stupid as it sounds, a lot of people don't achieve the goal that they want to because they can't even put themselves in the shoes of the person that's achieved that goal. So this book talks about having the mindset of the person that you want to be in 10 years time right now, because that's the person that you want to be. It's really good for building self-confidence, for understanding affirmations in a way that actually brings stuff into your life that you want. And yeah, it's kind of on board with the whole law of attraction thing that you might have heard in the past about manifesting, but it breaks it down scientifically so you can understand it instead of it just seeming like some wishy-washy, oh, I'm going to win £1 million and then you win £1 million. It's really good for leveling up your own self-confidence, understanding yourself and achieving things that you didn't think was possible. So book number 2 is a book that has opened my eyes up massively to the way that we experience our own lives and the way that we find purpose and meaning in the things that we do. Now this book is called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Now Viktor Frankl managed to survive the Auschwitz concentration camps back in World War II, which is unbelievable to say the least. But in this book, he talks about his own experiences and the ways that he found that most people who give up mentally didn't survive the concentration camps compared to him, who conducted his own logotherapy, which he speaks about after the concentration camp, which was through finding purpose within your own work, your own relationships, and the suffering that you have to go through within your own life. This book is so good for somebody who's struggling at the moment and they feel like they've not got a complete purpose on what it is they're actually doing. He speaks about finding purpose in the things that you've already done and the ways that you can carry that over into the things that you're going to be doing in the future. So I definitely recommend this for somebody who's trying to find meaning and find purpose towards the things that they're trying to achieve. Book number 3 is a book that has helped me massively develop from being rock bottom in my bank account to starting to build back up some form of savings and wealth. And this book is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. In this book, he talks about the ways that we perceive rich people to be people who shouldn't have that wealth and we should have it, when in essence, it's just that we've got bad habits when it comes to spending and saving. So if you're looking to develop your finances and you've never actually thought about the way that you think about money, this book's definitely for you. Now, book number 4 has massively helped me develop a better relationship with my own thoughts. We all know that you can have positive and negative thoughts. Sometimes these negative thoughts are good to motivate us to do things that we don't want to do, but sometimes those negative thoughts can get into the rest of our life and start to beat us up and start to become our own self-critic, where we don't end up wanting to do things that we thought we could have done in the past. Now, the book that I'm on about is A Chimp Paradox. I can't remember the author's name, but I'll pop it on screen. And this book talks about the way that you can understand where these negative thoughts come from and how you can start to put practices in place to make sure that these negative thoughts have a positive impact instead of you beating yourself up all the time. So if you're struggling at the minute of getting around those negative thoughts and you're always thinking bad of yourself, I definitely recommend this book to you. So book number 5 is a book that has helped me develop better strategy when it comes to planning business goals, physique-based goals, or training goals that I've set for myself. And I'd massively recommend this book to somebody who's launching a company, trying to create a business, trying to better themselves in any sort of way, because it helps you understand the reasons why you're doing it. Hence the pun, Start With Why is the book that I'm relating to, that is written by Simon Sinek. Now this book is unbelievable when it comes towards actually coming up with a strategy to the reasons why you want to do that thing. So when most people start to launch a business or they start to plan something towards a training goal, they don't actually understand why they're doing it, and they're doing it because they've seen somebody else do it. This book helps massively understand the reasons why you're thinking about achieving something, and I recommend it to someone that's feeling a little bit lost towards the goals that they've currently set for themselves. Now, book number 6 is a book that you've probably seen before. All the Sigma TikTok lads will be posting this all over TikTok, saying that this book is what makes you feel like you're some Roman emperor like Marcus Aurelius. And this book is 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. But this book is really good. I'm not going to lie. I know there's so many TikToks and edits about speaking about how good this book is, but it does hold its value because this book allows you to understand the best decisions that you can make or the best positions that you can put yourself in to elevate your current circumstances. So it's great for if you're going meeting somebody who you've never met before and you're trying to propose yourself in a certain way to get the most out of that experience, or if you're going negotiating a business deal, how can you make sure that you get the most out of it? So this book is really good when it comes to generic life skills for how you can put yourself in the best possible position to make the most out of it. So, book number 7, the next book, is a book that you've probably heard before. It's called The Secret. Now, The Secret talks about the law of attraction, which is a buzzword that you've probably seen on Instagram, TikTok, and things that famous people have said that they've used to achieve mass amounts of wealth or fame. Now, this book does have some misconceptions. Some people think that if you just think about winning £1 million, it'll just fall into your lap, when we all know that's not the case. But I do find that by having a combination of reading the other books that I've mentioned earlier on in this video and then reading this book, you can start to understand how you need to make sure that your frequency of thoughts is on a mindset or on the same level as the things that you're trying to achieve. So say, for instance, if you're somebody who's wanting to get lean and get a six-pack, you can't constantly be thinking about food that's high in calories or a load of rubbish like McDonald's and Pizza Hut all the time and expect to have a six-pack, because you're constantly going to be driven towards those things, and you're going to constantly be driven towards social events and conversations that associate around those things. So this book teaches about how you can put yourself in the best position mentally to open up the doors to achieving the things that you want to attract towards you. So I think this book is really good, and I think everybody should read it who's wanting to achieve great things in their life and they want to attract those things and those scenarios towards them. Book number 8 is a book that has massively helped when it comes to blocking out distractions and focusing on what I need to focus on to achieve a goal. And this book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. In this book, Mark Manson talks in a way that it's very easy to read, and it helps you understand how certain thoughts aren't in line with your current goals, so there's no point in worrying about them. So I definitely recommend this book to somebody who's trying to have a little bit more focus and more tunnel vision towards the goals that they're trying to achieve. Book number 9. So book number 9 is another book that you've probably heard before, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This is an unbelievable read. Like, this book massively helped me understand how money actually works in the world that we live in, the way that we're taxed, the way that we have to invest, and the way that there's money made in absolutely every single thing that you do. To even think about how Starbucks is set up in a way where most people go towards Starbucks now opposed to other companies, just because of the brand that they've managed to build and the way that they've positioned themselves in their own niche, which is obviously selling coffee. That's just one example. In this book, Robert Kiyosaki talks about all the ways that you can become financially free by using money and lending money without actually spending any of your own money. So it's a crazy book. There's so many different messages in there that will help you understand how you can start to generate wealth and generate more of a cash flow to then invest into different assets that are going to allow you to make more money without having to lift a finger. So it speaks about how your money should make you money whilst you're asleep. And it's a good book, and I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned in there that I've managed to push into my own business, and I'm managing to earn little bits of money from the assets that I've got, nowhere near the amount that he does, but obviously we're always trying to strive to be better. So if you're looking to have wealth in a way that your assets earn you more money than your job does, this book is definitely for you. Last but not least, book number 10 is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Now, this book is unbelievable, and I recommend that every single person should read this book. And that's because it goes into the ways that David Goggins suffered through his own hardships and his own struggles when he was younger, and the ways that he counteracted them to be able to do the things that he's gone on to achieve. And I think there's so much to take from these stories that David Goggins goes through for people who feel like they're never going to see the end of the suffering that they're currently in, because what they need to realize is that the only way to prepare for unchosen suffering is through chosen suffering. And if you can start to have that disciplined mentality and start to push yourself through hard things, when the hard things come up in the future, you're more than ready to be able to take them on. So I definitely recommend this book to anybody who's wanting to read it. And there you have it. Those are the 10 books that I recommend will change your life forever. If you managed to take any value from this video, I'd massively appreciate it if you could like, drop a comment below on the books that you've read in the past, or ones that maybe I've not recommended that you think should have been in this list, and comment below the reasons why. So I'm more than interested in understanding different ways that I can improve myself. And if there's any knowledge out there, I want to make sure that I know about it. And in the future, this channel is going to be me sharing my own journey towards my own personal goals, whether that be mentally, physically, or whatever it may be. And if you're wanting to tap in onto ways that you can improve yourself, this channel is definitely for you. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button, click the notification bells, comment on what videos you'd want to see in the future, and remember, always want more.